Dance almost killed me once. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the podcast. Are you okay, babes? This is episode 4, the last episode of A Few of My Favorite Things versus Limiting Beliefs. So, the next time you come here, we'll be on a different topic. I'm so glad to have you back. But before we go ahead, have you checked out my past videos? So far, we've talked about embracing things that you like singing. We've talked about embracing our natural selves, like our hair, and we've also talked about embracing natural speech. Today, we're talking about dance. I've been in a tango with dance for as long as I can remember. See what I did there? My earliest memories with dance are from home. It was always natural to me, so I always navigated toward that kind of movement. But even with that, I also had a little bit of formal training in school. I was in a little dance group. In primary school or elementary school, we did contemporary dance. So soca, R&B, reggae, dancehall, whatever was hot on the radio at the time, we were doing dances to that. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun while it lasted. Aside from dancing for fun, we also went into dance competitions. I did about 2 or 3, I think. And while I did have fun, I was also terrified. I was competing against girls who had more training than I did. They were more skillful than I was in a lot of cases. And I just felt like I didn't belong there. But I went and I did it, and it was a learning experience for me. But the terrifying feeling stayed, you know, with me for a long time. And I think it kind of held me back from doing this thing that I love so much. Because for years, I wasn't dancing in groups or anything like that. Not until much later, maybe when I was around 19, that I danced again in a group. And by that time, it reminded me a lot of why I did it before, because again, it felt natural, I had fun and whatnot. But again, the limiting beliefs were creeping in. The seeds of doubt that were planted earlier were creeping in again. And I just felt like, maybe this isn't really for me. Granted, I had other issues that were preventing me from doing it as much as I would like to, because life be life in. But if I were to be very honest with myself, I would say that I stayed away from dance for a long time because I felt like I wasn't good enough to be in the same circles as girls and women who had been dancing for a longer period. Those who didn't take that long break that I did. But it's so interesting that the more I try to find my rhythm in life, is the more I am navigated back to one of those things that I love so much, which is dance. Movement has always been something that I've loved to do, and I don't see why I should stop. I mean, I'm no Misty Copeland. I don't think I will be playing and relevéing anytime soon on any public stage, but it doesn't mean that I should not dance, right? Because it is something that I enjoy while I'm cleaning, while I'm working, while I'm just home alone, when I'm out at a party. I dance. I'm not one of those people who just stands up and shakes her head to the music. I dance, I enjoy myself. It's just how I am. And I just feel like it doesn't matter your skill level in dance. If it's something that you like doing, you do it, regardless of what level of training you have or regardless of how good you are at it. If it's something that you love to do, you do it, as long as you don't hurt anybody. Aside from dancing because we love it, I also really think that we should dance because it's good for us. Movement is necessary for health. Whether you go to the gym, you run, you jog, you walk, Movement has to happen. So why not dance? It's fun. Dancing, I believe, is more fun than running on a treadmill. It's more fun than running on a track. It's more fun than walking because at least there's music that you can enjoy yourself to. You can share the experience with other people. Or if you're like me, you don't need music anyway. You just dance because there's always a party in your head, right? But according to Harvard Health, dancing not only has physical benefits, but it also has psychological benefits. It has neurological benefits. It has emotional benefits because it helps with coordination. So it helps with memory. And it helps people who have diseases such as Parkinson's to get their coordination back, to get their livelihoods back, really, because these diseases can be quite debilitating. It's important for us to recognize that a lot of the things that we stop doing because we're shy or because we don't think that we should be doing them because we don't look good are some of the things that can keep us alive. Interesting, right? Dancing is one of those things for me. And I'm sure that to some degree, it is one of those things for you. I know that some people don't like to dance or they don't like people to see them dancing because they have two left feet. But don't stop yourself from moving, from enjoying yourself, from embracing that mobility, that sensuality, because you're afraid of how you would look. It doesn't matter how you look. In a lot of cases, people are going to talk about you anyway. So, shouldn't you at least have some fun in the process? But I want to touch on two things before I go. One, the concept of not being good enough. And this applies to other things as well, not just dance. Something that came to me some time ago, which is common sense, but it struck me some time ago, is that a lot of us say, I'm not good enough at this thing to pursue it. But how do you become good at something? How do you achieve greatness? Do you just wake up one morning and be great? You can wake up and be talented. You can be born with a talent. But even the most talented of people have to hone their skills. You must develop the skill. You must work on it. You must train. You must read. You must find out more. You must research in order for you to be great at something. So that is something that I feel like we need to let go of, that idea that I'm just not good enough for it until you've done your very best at trying that thing. If you do it and you do it and you do it and you realize, okay, this is probably not my wheelhouse, but you give it your very best shot and you can sit back comfortably and say, yes, I give it my all, then you stop. But if not, then you try until you get there. Another thing is stopping yourself from doing something because of what other people are going to say. For example, some people don't exercise in public because they don't like being looked at, or they don't try anything that has to do with the public at all. So they won't go to a new class, or they won't do anything that causes them to probably be on a stage or out in the street or in a field because someone is going to laugh at them. And something that I realized is that sometimes we care a lot more about what people are going to say than other people do. Uh, in a lot of cases, people don't care about us as much as we think they do. And what if they do? What if there's somebody out there who is saying, who do you think you are for coming out here and walking around with your chest all high and carrying on? Who do you think you are for dancing on a stage with all these slim people with your big fat self? Or who do you think you are for wanting to enter this competition at this age in your life or at this stage in your life? But why not you? What's wrong with you? Are you dead? As long as you have life, you have time to achieve anything you want, to go after anything you want, to start anything you want, to finish anything that you started. As long as there is life, you have time. It doesn't matter how late you start. It doesn't matter what you've been told before. It doesn't matter if this is your 600th time of starting this thing. Whatever it is, you do it. for the love of it, for the sake of it, for awarding yourself the opportunity to attempt it, to satisfy that urge, that crave that you've been feeling for as long as you can remember. I encourage you, as much as I try to encourage myself, to do away with the limiting belief that you're not good enough to do something, especially if you haven't tried it yet. Dance almost killed me one time, but I will say that as much as I don't dance professionally, dance is one of those things that reinvigorates me and makes me feel more alive. I'm going to leave this one here for today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Like the past videos, comment, share, do all the things. And until next time, love and light.